Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Formula Bharat's Driverless Vehicle Workshop. Just give me a moment. Sorry. Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Formula Bharat's Driverless Vehicle Workshop 2023. The topic for today's session is Introduction to Autonomous Driving and Design of Modern Automotive HMI, hosted by Prithvi Kancharla. The topic will be hosted by Prithvi Kancharla, HMI ADAS Engineer at Jaguar Land Rover. All participants are requested to note the following general instructions. We encourage you to turn on your video during the session. Please mute your microphone throughout the session unless you are asked otherwise and during the doubt solving session. So without further ado, let's begin the session. Over to you, Prithvi.
Yeah, hello. Let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So you can see me, right? Okay. Good evening, all. My name is Prithvi. I'm currently working as a HMI designer. It is basically a kind of automotive UI UX design. So I'm currently working for JLR. So coming to my past experiences, I have worked with different automobile companies like Ford Motor Company, and also worked on other like product design projects in TCS as well as the Aptiv. Aptiv is also an automotive company. So now I'm handling this user interface and all autonomous vehicles, their user experience design. So coming to Baha and SAE, like I was like part of 2009 and 2010 Baha team from SRM University. I like we won a prize like in 2010 for overall design. So I thought like this particular session would be helpful for you for designing of the latest interfaces, instrument cluster, and how to start. Before starting, I would like to know just like a brief introduction about you people, so that I'll understand from where I can start, and how good is your understanding into your like automotive interiors and design, especially the like features, the autonomous features and ADAS features. Just I'll give you 2 minutes, please. Like just give me a small introduction about you people so that I'll start. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Kaushik from Hercules Racing Team. So we are a Formula student racing team from University of Kassel, Germany. So like I'm part of a driverless team. So like we are trying to participate in the driverless events in the upcoming Formula student seasons. So yeah, with respect to Formula student driverless, like we are a pretty new team.
Other is Mansoori. Yeah, let's not waste the time. I'll just jump into the session. Okay. I know like the other people who wanted to access it, like this session will be recorded and it will be, other people who wanted to access it, I think like they can access it for a certain period. So that's what I was told. So I'll just like go through the, the presentation and start explaining you the basic concepts, and then I actually thought of giving you a small exercise once like completing the particular session today. We'll see like, how it goes. And okay, let me know if you can see my screen. You can see. You can see, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, for better understanding, I've divided this particular session into two parts. Like first presentation will be just to give you a small introduction. Okay. Hello. Yeah. Uh, so can you guys please just let me know if you know the understanding of assisted driving and the automated driving? What do you mean by these two? If
So we
yeah.
have different autonomous levels, right? Like level 1 to level 5, I think. So level 1 is fully manual driving, and level 3, 4, 5 are like.
That's okay. I'm just saying the basic example. Like no, you don't even have to say the examples and levels. That we will talk about it later. Just give me a fine example, a differentiation of assisted and automated, because most of the people do understand it in wrong way. Like both are different. Assisted driving and autonomous driving are different. So entry level of the autonomous is called as assisted. So it's like something is assisting you to like some feature is helping you to drive. So that is called assisted. So simple example is like someone is helping you to drive, but you are doing the driving. Still, you will be the person who will be handling the whole car. But the thing is, in autonomous driving, is someone else is like driving. So you will be just monitoring the particular, the motion of the vehicle or the particular, work that is being executed. So that is the main difference between these two. In assisted driving, like the current generation of cars that we have in Indian market, especially now. We talk about the latest, like, can you say any examples like the latest one? You have the Kia Seltos, right? Kia Seltos, which was launched like a couple of months back. So it is not autonomous, like it has assisted driving features. You call it as ADAS, right? So these are assisted features, like someone is helping you to perform that particular lane centering, or someone helping you to stop in case of emergency. But you are doing the driving. You are supposed to drive it in case of system failing, but the whole responsibility will be on the driver only. So these are called as assisted driving. So autonomous is something starting from you will happily sleep. You don't even have to monitor, like you keep the vehicle on highway and just leave, and the vehicle will reach a destination, and then it'll give you a warning, or it'll give you a takeover message or something, and then you take over. It is doing the job, something like a driver. So something which you can rely on, completely performing the duty. So that is called as autonomous features, and it goes to a level uh, where there is no driver at all. So you even have this kind of concepts also, like in certain controlled environments you have a complete uh, driving, like assistance. So that is a basic difference here. So first we need to understand the assisted driving is something, it is helping you. So certain features you have, right? Like speed could be something related to speed. It could be related to steering. So driving has many things. You need to take care of brake, steering, and then speed. You need to take care of other environmental things, like which is happening around the car, which you don't have any control of it, especially the road conditions, weather conditions. You absolutely have no idea. The system will not have an idea, so it has to understand all those things. So now, as you said, yeah, levels of autonomous. We basically, when we're talking about autonomous driving features or anything, especially driving features, like we have this SAE levels starting from 0 to level 5. So these are the universal levels that were uh, those are actually regulated. So any feature that like any assistance feature or ADAS feature or autonomous driving feature that we design, it should either fall into any of this category based on the kind of flexibility that it is giving the driver. If it is like completely autonomous and the driver doesn't have to intervene, so it will fall into a certain category. If it is just helping the driver by easing the driving, like it should probably fall into category like level 2 or something. So we'll just like have a look at it. So you guys have idea about these levels?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah. So the latest you have this feature, right? What do you call this particular Nexon was launched few weeks back. So what kind of level it falls into?
I
So
guess level 2.
Yeah, it should fall into level 2, but it is something like yeah, they always say like level 2 features, level 3 features, but it is not like the whole car will have all level 2 features. There are hundreds of features which one manufacturer will choose like five or six different features for that particular car. Maybe that was possible for them to design. Maybe one manufacturer will come with one A, B, C features. Other manufacturer will come B, C, D features based on their possibility and the kind of if they can make the feature from their side. So most of our companies in our market will come with emergency braking, collision avoidance, 360-degree camera, parking. Some companies come with lane centering. Some companies do not come with lane centering. So these features are just assistance features. They should come either in level 2 or level 1. Level 1 is like basically when you have even lower features. In case of level 0, so what kind of cars will fall into?
I guess all old cars.
Any car, that is true. Not only old car, any car. Basically, level 0 means like you're doing completely, like starting from starting the ignition to driving on highway. Your eyes are doing the job. Your brain is analyzing the road. Your legs are doing the acceleration, braking, and everything. So no other. Uh, yeah, your car might be having a hydraulic steering or a power steering. That's a different matter. You can have yeah, you will be having ABS, EBD, and traction control. Those are okay. Those are just like features. But you are doing the whole job. That is nothing but level 0. But when you have some other feature apart from the basic needs, that will make these driving with bit more assistance. That will basically be a level 1. Something like you just have a cruise control with basically adaptive cruise control. So these things will become a level 1 because like at that particular time you are not doing the accelerator. The car is going to check the speed of the adjacent vehicle with the help of the camera that is present, and it will increase the speed. Like if you have set the adaptive cruise control for 60 kmph, it is going to accelerate to 60 kmph, and it will stay on the highway. If your the adjacent vehicle is coming down, your vehicle will also come down to 40 kmph probably, and again it will accelerate. So this is something, it is adapting to the situation, right? So there's something else like helping your car to perform that particular duty. So these things will fall into uh, yeah, these levels. When you have a cruise control or this kind of assistance feature, they'll be called as level 1. And level 2 is basically when you have, and apart from this cruise control, you have this adaptive cruise control and some features like lane centering or lane departure or lane change. Most of the cars in our market, which we talk about it like just a couple of minutes back, they do not have the lane change because when you have lane change, the complexity of the system will be more, right? You're getting my point, right? When you have like, if you remember, I hope you guys have completed your mechanical engineering or automobile engineering. So you might be knowing about the features called ABS, EBD, traction control, limited slip differential, all these things, right? If you have like, can you explain me what is EBD? Basically, brake force distribution. You will directly, like, if you like, whenever you have a EBD in your car, that means like you already have ABS. So without having the base ABS, you will not be having EBD. How will the brake force be distributed? So without having these two things, you will not be having a traction control. So traction control will be the next step. So in order to have traction control, these two features also should be there. So it depends upon the manufacturer to give you, which kind of safety feature, and it goes across different variants. As you put more money, so better another level 2 feature will come. You put more money, another level 2 feature will come. So you will not be seeing lane change or a HFE like the hands free or something. So these kind of features will not be there mostly in our markets. But so they also fall into level 2 and level 2 plus, but they also it depends upon the company. So that's how these features are divided into. Apart from these level 1, 2, in the recent years, like past 5-6 years, we have been seeing level 2 plus is something very common. It had become very common in our automotive industry, because uh, there are certain features which will differentiate level 2 and level 3. There's a huge gap. So suddenly, when you move from level 2 to level 3, there is a huge gap. Until here, the driver is doing maximum duty, and the feature is helping the driver to a little extent. But when you move to level 3, you can leave your hands and you can happily look at the windscreen, just keep watching the road. So now there's a huge gap, right? Like, you doing the work and system is doing the work for you. So from level 3, this hand, like you leaving the hands, you can leave the steering wheel completely, and then you just focus on the road, or you can just focus on the other things also. So because of that particular gap, so this industry had got few more additional features which differentiating them from level 3. So that's where this existence of this level 2 plus had come in. Apart from the level 2 package, you make the system better, as like you do some research and do the benchmarking compared to the other vehicles in the market. You just like add up few more better features for the level 2 base pack, and then you get like basically level 2 plus. So usually whatever I said with the lane change and all, they also fall into level 2, but they fall into level 2 plus category. Until now, like, you people have understood?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. So from level 3 is something like, if you're like living in Germany or Europe, you might have like come across several cars, like, all this BMW 5 Series or 7 Series, or you talk about X5, X7, X7, X7M. So they come with level 3 and level 4. If you're living in USA, you have a car called Cadillac Escalade. It comes with a Super Cruise, which is a level 3. You have a Tesla Model X or Model Y, so they come with the base level 3 package, and you can upgrade it to level 4. Of course, you have to pay a lot for the extra software that you need to use it for your cars and all. So what happens in this particular features, like in level 3, as I told you, there is a huge jump from level 2. So in level 3, you can go onto a highway and set a particular destination in your car, and then happily like close your eyes. It depends upon the different like design of the system. Like, some cars will allow you to do other works, like just look here and there. Some cars will not allow you to look here and there. You need to focus on the road completely, but you can leave your hands and you can leave your pedals. So, but basically the car is doing the job for you. It is accelerating, it is braking, it is going to do the steering. Like if there is a bend in the road, the car is going to steer it for you, even if it is a crossroad or traffic. Like Mercedes-Benz had this like traffic kind of feature, like where the car will brake or it does all the maneuvering process. So in level 2, level 3, it starts like even controlling all the features for you. It will start doing the driving for you. In level 4 is basically it is highly automated. You can focus on the other jobs also. You can sleep for some time. You can just give the destination on it. You can forget it. The car is going to analyze the nearby fuel stops. It will stop. If it is an electric, it will just it will even find you the charging stations. It will take the car. It will analyze the shortest distance. If there is any traffic jam happening in your route, it will analyze the how much time it will take. Or like a car has this computing power. It'll have all the basic idea of how to like tackle the situations, and at the same time it knows how to drive based on the situation. It could be environmental situation or any other situation. It'll understand. It'll do the job. It is almost like uh, uh, a human or a driver doing the job for you. But now, what do you mean by level 5? So until level 4, we said, it is a step-by-step we are approaching to the autonomous. So what do you mean by level 5? Hello? Yeah. So in level 5, basically, you will not have a driver. You will not have steering. You will not have any pedals, nothing. So your driver's seat is nothing, looks as it is like, the passenger seat. So whatever you have on the left side or the right side, and next to the driver's seat, so both will be a copy, like it will be a mirror. So there is no steering, nothing. Like you just have a screen, you just sit inside, give the destination, you will reach. So it need not be a car, it can be a pod also. It can be a something if you have seen in some sci-fi movies, or if you have traveled, I don't know, in some airports, there are small pods which are traveling between one terminal to other terminal. There is no driver. You just sit in. The car will directly take you to the destination. So it can be like that. These are something we talk about future cars, future car technologies. So this particular type of technology, there are lots of things to focus on. So because of the external parameters which we don't have in our control, so we use these particular level 5 in only closed areas, the areas where like it is completely like under our control and under our surveillance. Inside airport campuses, or inside a college campus, or inside gated communities, or inside a tech park. Because in tech park, like we have a particular speed set, and like we have dedicated paths for people to walk, vehicles to drive. So we have a certain system that to do the whole process. Like in that kind of situations, we can use level 5. But when it comes to normal road, it becomes very complex to use this particular technology. So that is the one biggest limitation that we have currently in like using this level 5. But there is a lot of research that is happening in every company, in not only in automobile companies, and different companies also. A lot of investment is put into autonomous driving to make it, to come up with a new futuristic driving pods or driving transportation technologies to get it for the public. But there are lots of challenges which we are currently trying to mitigate them. So it's clear until here, levels of autonomous driving and all. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. We have spoke until levels. Okay. So when it comes to driving, it is not just the features or the technology that is driving the vehicle. So there are other factors also that we need to consider, right? Until here, we have the systems, we have features, we have components. Like the systems are controlling the components, and components will do the process. If it is like in any component in automotive, like it will work and it will do the job. But how it has to perform? It has to perform in environment, but it will be completely dependent on the external factors, right? So what are the factors those are affecting the driving? Environmental factors, right? They are the very important factors, like which will uh, like completely it can completely like alter the driving style also. Like if you have a snow on your road, what if you have gravel? One particular car can do off-roading. One sedan will not be able to do off-roading. Okay, for off-roading, you need to have certain features like for better uh, handling of the gravel and all. So the features have to be different, and the way they execute the work should be different. Yeah. So environmental factors. Oh, the next one is human factors. Human factors, how human factors are affecting driving, like your vehicle driving. It could be the human who are driving the car or inside the car, even the human around. For example, a pedestrian, like walking suddenly in front of a car, it will affect the driving, right? So the vehicle should be able to understand the pedestrian movement, the night vision. We have certain night vision cameras present in our premium cars. In the night, like there is infrared cameras like which will be in front of in the bump in the front grill. They'll analyze the movement of human being. If there is a human, suddenly a human, or it could be a pet, or it could be anything like suddenly walking in front of you, it'll understand that there is some animal or a person is walking in front of you, and it will start applying the brake. Because in the night, like you will not be able to understand the movement. Because how many of you guys like have recently seen this Land Rover Discovery advertisement? I don't know. So a vehicle will be driving on assisted driving, and suddenly it will stop, and they'll wonder, like they'll be wondering why the car has suddenly stopped, and they'll, because like even in the commercial, first it will look like a rock. It is a Land Rover, right? A Land Rover is supposed to completely go around, go on top of any kind of terrain or any kind of rocks. But this particular discovery will stop. Then in the screen, they'll understand it is not a rock, it is a tortoise. Tortoise or turtle, I don't remember. So it is tortoise. So because the system is understanding whether it is a rock or whether it is, so the calibration or this the software that is designed is so good that it is analyzing it. So all these factors will completely affect your driving. So because if it is not designed properly, like probably like the vehicle will run over on top of the particular this. It is not good. Similarly, the vehicle factor, what kind of vehicle it is. can you tell me like how many different types of the cars that we have? Just classify them based on the type of body style. Kaushik. Okay, we have different classifications, right? Based on the body style, we can say, you know, a sports car or a sedan. Basically, if it is a three-box design, we can say that the sedan. If it is a one mono volume or like single box design, we can say it could be MPVs, multi-utility vehicles, or we have SUVs. Again, we have sportsback, we have fastback, we have convertible, we have uh, station wagon. We have several types. So different vehicle type will have a different requirement. You might be requiring a drift mode in a sports car. You don't require a drift mode in MPV, correct? You might be requiring a launch control in a sports car, but do you require a launch control in a pickup truck? So vehicle, the kind of vehicle, at the same time, like you have a station wagon, if it is a RS4 station wagon, like if it is an AMG, then obviously you will be requiring the launch control. So different kind of vehicle, different classification of vehicle at the segment or different persona, or like the vehicle is particularly designed for youngster, uh, or you know, you have a Civic, right? Honda Civic. So in Honda Civic, you have different variants. In Honda Civic, you will get a basic 1.5 liter base manual. You have, I think, SI, and then you have Type R. In Type R, you have a fastback version with a more powerful. I think it has a 1.5 liter turbo, I believe. So in same car, the car is like the particular package is designed for different persona of person. One is for old, maybe youngster. One is for old person. Some a youngster might be requiring a powerful car with other features. So again, the body style or different persona of vehicle uh, is important. Based on that, like you have different features and driving style. As I said, if this particular car is especially for tuned or like designed for a sporty driving character, so that has a different requirement of features, or the same feature might be tuned in a different way. A same sedan, a like sports package will have a stiff suspension. The same sedan with a a, for urban utility, it'll have a softer suspension. If it is a family car, it'll have very soft and comfortable suspension. So all these things are tuned differently, and features have to be designed in such a manner that it have to serve that particular purpose. There is no point you giving off-roading ability, snow, gravel kind of response system in a normal 1 liter hatchback. There's no point. If the job of that particular hatchback is like to commute from point A to point B, and the persona is not for any trail raiding, so there's no point of adding such kind of features, and you can't do that also. And then the ergonomics. What do you mean by ergonomics? Hello. Okay. Basically, ergonomics means it is a relation between a human body to the machine. Like it could be like how you drive. Like for example, if you're sitting in a car or if you're driving in a car, how your seating position is, how your interaction with like interaction in the sense like how you're sitting in the car, the position of the hip point or position of your legs, your elbows, your like viewpoint, all this comes into ergonomics. when I talk about ergonomics, I'm not only talking about the ergonomics of the driver who's driving the car, because like ultimately the your vehicle is not only designed for one particular person. If it is having 5-seater or 7-seater, so ergonomics of all the individual people is also equally important. It could be a passenger, it could be a co-driver, even if it is having a third row, the person who's sitting in the third row, and how he's like comfortable, how his well, like the position of your knees as well as like elbows are. So these are also important, and this will also affect the driving factors. And if you ask me like how this is affecting the driving factor, yeah, obviously, like in a sports car, you can't sit very high. You can't have your back straight, right? You need to have your hip completely down as low as possible to the ground. Otherwise, like your car cannot be designed lower. Uh, like the sports car, the main thing is like it has to go fast. The height of the vehicle has to be down. So obviously your position has to be down. Same goes with the Formula One, right? Formula One is like your Formula One car is like almost you're on the floor. When it comes to Land Rover, you're sitting very high because your visibility of the road is very important. The purpose is different, and the ergonomics will affect the way you drive. Because if you are sitting high, you will not be able to steer the vehicle in the corners, especially in a racetrack. Your vehicle will totally roll. So, so these ergonomics inside a car will totally affect the driving conditions or the driving of the vehicle. So the design of your systems or choosing of particular features in your car has to be based on all these factors. So you understand, right? In between, you just give me answers so that like it will be interactive. Otherwise, there are hardly one or two people in the session, right? Sometimes it gives me whether I'm like other people are audible or like they're listening to my lecture or not. Hello, can you?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes. So usually I give like if it is lecture and all, I give lecture in if it is a classroom or in any college. If I go, there'll be like number of people, like at least 50, 60 people. So when I keep saying something, other people will respond and give me answers. So based on that, the session goes very lengthy. It'll be interactive. Since here there are like very less people over there, sometimes it gives me a question that other people are listening or not. So that's why I'm asking. Like if I'm asking a question, like try just responding to it. So it'll also be interactive. So now let's speak about human factors. So we spoke about several factors like just now, which will result in the driving or the factors that will affect the driving. So now one of the major thing which is very important in the case of driving, the human factors. If you talk about human factors, like obviously like human is the person who is going to use a car. It could be for several purposes, but there are several states and conditions that will totally be responsible for any kind of fatality or any kind of thing that will happen in case of driving. Yeah, so it could be kind of errors, it could be a driving error, anything. So especially like let's talk about emotional situations, emotional states. If do you think like emotional states is like very much important when the case of driving? Yeah. If you're if you are driving, just imagine that you are driving a car in a racetrack. If you just had a quarrel with your teammate or someone, you just jumped into the car, and what happens? Sometimes like emotional state of a person can result in winning or losing also. We have seen like I don't know how many of people like have watched in automobile like races or movies. One such example I can give you. or my favorite movie called like Ford versus Ferrari. Uh, you know, the, there is a lot of emotions involved, and emotions are like very much important, of course, but sometimes it will result in uh, different different ways, especially when you are riding in a bad mood in a highway. Sometimes you will not be able to focus in the right way that you're supposed to, and then aging process will matter, right? Like yeah, when I was 22 years, when I was doing my engineering, my I had a CBZ. Okay, I used to ride my CBZ until the RPM meter completely goes into red zone. The vehicle has to stop because of overheating. So I used to ride like if the top speed of that particular was like 115 kmph, I used to ride 115. If I jump into any of the Charisma or something, I used to ride like 125, 130. I had that much guts at that particular time. If you talk about it now, I'm riding a 300cc motorcycle, but I hardly go beyond like 100, 110. Because of the aging process. It is not something like I can't drive. I can drive. I'm experienced more than what I was like around a few years back. Because of the age, because of it could be because of maturity, or it could be because of horrible things which I've seen in across different, like my friends and all. And the other age will not allow me to go fast. So aging process also, because if I go to 60s or something, my vision also drops, right? Vision drops, and my speed at which I can take care of the like take control of the vehicle. If there is sudden braking and all, there will be a panic situation. When you're young, you will act very fast. You will be very smart. If you become old, you can't act that smart, because my speed is different and my father's speed is different. My father goes very slow because of age. So age is one important thing. So based on age also, your system, you have to design a system like it should even take care of the age of a particular, like even age of a driver also. And medications. What if a driver has some medical problems? He might be having a spine problem, and suddenly there will be a pain, and he'll not be able to, focus on the driving, or suddenly he is like he was not able to, like he's distracted from the driving, and suddenly there is a health, a heart problem, or a eye problem. It could be any uh, thing. And medications, he might be taking some medication because of which, like a user has, suddenly he's falling ill, or sorry, he's dull, he's getting like his what do you call, he's dozing off, he's sleeping out. So because of that, what happens, he's on highway at traveling at 120 kmph on highway, and suddenly even if a blink of eye also like can cause you major fatalities, right? So medications also will be responsible for the kind of situation that user will face. And then distractions. You are driving on a road, suddenly you saw a big holding of your favorite actress, and the main reason for these, like the people who were placing us big holdings in inside cities, is to distract, right? You'll if you have a big poster of any like our favorite actor or actress over there, obviously we will turn our head. It is a distraction. Instead of focusing for half a second, if we keep looking at it, and while traveling, what happens? And suddenly, if there is a person like in front of you applies a brake, you will just go and bump into it, and that will result in like one, two, three, four, five, like several cars will keep bumping in. And we see this kind of scenario, and like especially when I was in Delhi, like I saw Taj Expressway. So every during November and December, it is very common that people just like hit, or like what do you call, a series of accidents you see. So okay, that is because of the environmental condition, like because of fog and all. But in case of in a city, it is very common that you get distracted because of someone is abusing you, someone will hit and run, someone will do some nonsense in roads, all these things. And fatigue basically you're driving for very long time. Maybe you've had some back pain, you have some hand pain or something, and you're driving for 300 kilometers on a bike or a car or whatever. Suddenly you have a back problem, and suddenly you have a foot uh, having problem, and you can't press the accelerator for a long time again. So you will release the accelerator, or you release the pedal suddenly. So this kind of conditions, like you will have fatigue. So that will also play in a crucial role. Of course, like people have been driving with all these things, and we have the percentage of accidents or road safety issues those are happening in India. Like as the number of car purchases are increasing every year, even road safety incidents also like increasing every year, right? India is registering a very high number of cases every year. So one of the main thing, like if we dig deeper, like what are the conditions those are affecting them. So these are the main conditions. If we can control these conditions, like probably we'll make our car safer. So driving becomes safe. And then alcohol. We all know that usage of alcohol while driving can cause you very big serious problems, because your brain will not be judging where to accelerate and where to judge apply brakes. So anything happens. So that is also very important. Now we'll talk about. So we spoke about levels of autonomous features in the introduction of all of them, factors those are affecting them, why they're affecting, and how human factors are affecting, why they're important. Now let's speak about communication. When you talk about HMI, the main meaning of HMI is nothing but human machine interaction. So especially this is the term that we use for automobiles. The reason is human is driving the car, machine is nothing but the machine, like your vehicle. So the interaction between a human and machine. So like we always say, right, like machine, the heart, or like our heart should be in sync with our vehicle. Human and car should be in sync always, like as if is our partner. It is very much important. So how you're communicating with it. So all these devices that we have inside the car, like, is nothing but they're acting as a communication between you or like and your car, right? Like if we have to classify them, so we classify in this manner, like a discrete control, continuous controls. So can you just tell me, like, what do you mean by discrete control or continuous control?
Maybe is it about car multimedia?
Okay, I'll tell you. Basically, see, when you have a car, you need a communication, the mode of communication, right? It is like if basically if we guys love automobiles a lot and we treat them like partner, so it is almost as equivalent as a human. But the thing is, we can't speak to our cars. There should be a mode of exchanging the information. So basically, how do we communicate to our car? Like we have a steering column, we have all the components, we have instrument cluster, like the system will give you information of the speed, or the engine, or the RPM, or anything that is happening inside engine, or heat, or all the things. At the same time, as you said, yeah, infotainment, because like infotainment screen that you have is now is a very it is going to give you all the information very clearly, right? So when we call as a discrete controls, basically all the switches or the buttons or the kind of the sliders that we have in car, so these are nothing but the discrete controls. So we have been using this kind of controls since decades till now. So now the latest way of communication is continuous controls, which are like you have touch screens, swipes, like on instrument cluster, you have buttons which just act. So the system will give you, you want you want me to switch on the aircon, yeah, click on the screen. it will switch on the aircon. System will just give you a message, should I take a right turn? You click on it, okay, or swipe it. Okay. If you have seen the latest Volkswagen Tiguan, so aircon controls are swipe. Like you just have, there is no button over there. You just place the button, you just swipe it. So similarly, you go to Sonnet or Seltos, you have a swipe feature or just a touch buttons, or you have infotainment screens where you just scroll the screen and then swipe it or place it. So that's how you are communicating with it. At the same time, you have your mobile phone, you just switch on the engine and keep the air conditioner on, because like the temperatures are high, you can switch on the air conditioner. You're having this communication between your car, right? So these are the controls I'm talking about. So the latest controls, if you see voice controls, you just say, hey, Aster, switch on the air conditioner for me. So it will do. So it has like voice activation. Like you go to MG Aster or MG whatever Hector. So they have this voice control, gesture control. You do this, it does one the job. You do this, or just the car is designed with some kind of what do you call gesture controls. Like you do that particular gesture, it'll do that job for you. So this is also a kind of communication. Then human automation, like uh, interaction. So these are the kind of different interactions that those are designed, or through which like you can communicate with your particular car and get the work done. So this is part one. I'll open the other PPT just now. Like give me if you want, you can take 1 or 2 minutes break. We can. I'll start with the next one if you want. So until this, you're clear.
Yeah, it was informative.
Because if you're going to design any automotive interiors or HMI design, like we need to understand these basic things, like where to focus and what are the basic things, and because everything will have a impact, and they'll have some main reasons for every particular feature, and several factors will be affecting the functioning of that particular feature, right? So it is very important to know all these things. Then we'll move to designing of a cockpit and how what are the things that we need to focus on. If you want, you can take 1 minute of break. I'll also have water. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so since we have spoken about all the basics of HMI design, just to give you a small quick recap. So what are the things we spoke? The understanding of levels of autonomous features and factors those are affecting the driving style, the human factors those are responsible for the driving, and lastly, the communication, different communication patterns. Yeah, now we'll move to the design. So what do you call like your interiors, like whether you call it as a cockpit or you call it as a dashboard, or like how do you term it is?
I used to call it as the dashboard.
Okay, dashboard. And what are the other names like usually people call, or you call, or your friends call? You can call it as dashboard. Yeah, what do you mean? Like dashboard is nothing but the area where you have all the controls placed in particular central area. It could be buttons, it could be switches, or anything. Like you sit in the particular front seat, you will be able to access any particular thing. It could be AC, it could be charging points, or it could be car engine related things, or it could be heating, or seats, or anything. You will be able to control all the points in a dashboard. So cockpit is a term like we usually term basically for flights, but it is also very common term like we basically use in automotive, especially in automotive industry. We call it as a cockpit, so that like it is a term like we usually use. Even dashboard is like something similar to the like it is limited to just the, the panel that you see in front of you, the dash panel or dashboard. Or instrument cluster is nothing but the cluster. It is again a smaller, like it is again limited to very small component. You're narrowing it down. The cluster that you have just in behind your steering wheel, where all the speed information or RPM information, or you have several bulbs like ABS, traction control. It could be related to your engine heat warning, or engine oil warning. So these are centralized in particular instrument cluster. So all these cluster and infotainment is placed in you have a dashboard. Basically, when we call it as cockpit, so it is one natural term that we use because there is a relation between driver and the surrounding dashboard and all these things. Like we call it as a cockpit, basically. Okay. So what do you mean by empathize? Any idea? Okay, before speaking about this, you're just seeing this particular scooter, right? So I don't want to use any existing vehicles in the market, and since the session is going to be recorded and it will be like given across a number of people, so I don't want to have this copyright problem, and I don't want to put my companies or any companies like images and just so that's why like this particular vehicle is designed by me. So that's why I'm using this particular like model. Okay. So empathizing is very important. Like before starting designing any particular product, it could be automotive, it could be a product design, it could be user experience, a app, a website, anything. Imagine that you are designing a train, maybe a transportation project, maybe you are designing a new metro system for any of the Indian cities. How do you start? Like basically you need to empathize the market. You need to empathize. Uh, Empathizing is nothing but you have to understand, right? It is understanding the particular problems of particular people. Maybe if you are coming from any small 2-tier or 3-tier city, if you are given a project to design a metro system for that particular city, uh, can you tell me, like Kaushik, like which city you are coming from?
Coimbatore?
Coimbatore.
Yeah.
Very good. Nice place. Okay. So if you are given a task to create a new metro system for Coimbatore, how will you say? Like you talk about describe about your particular Coimbatore people. How are they? Their mindset and their use of behavior and all. Can you just explain me?
Okay. So okay. So usually in certain roads, the traffic is so much that people used to wait for a long time during the traffic. So I would, if I were, I was designing a metro project, then I would target those highly traffic congested areas, so to make their life even better.
This is a very generic term. Like basically, whenever you any metro system or any tram system that is being designed in any country, the main thing is to cut down the congestion. When specifically talking about target users or target segment, you can say in this way. Like in Coimbatore, you have lots of textile industry people who are main and especially in the peak hours. Main thing is like people do carry these goods. uh, I'm just like giving you like maybe this might be true or not. I'm just giving you example. So most of the people rely in this particular Coimbatore city are or like it is at the 2-tier or 3-tier city. It is not like city will have an IT or software employees and all like Bangalore. But here you'll have a small and medium business owners who have to travel through the city with a number of goods, or people going to schools and colleges, or daily routine. So how do you tackle them? So maybe based on the user pattern and people mentalities and this kind of things, I you say I'll create different racks for the luggage, so that I'll cater to the needs of the people who are transporting textile goods in boxes to different parts of the city, so that I'll design racks. You can say people, number of people. Maybe recently you've seen in Hyderabad there is a new cycle track that is created. That is especially at the IT corridor where there are like no more number of cyclists that they are traveling. Okay, in Bhopal there is like another cycle track that is constructed. What if a cyclist like wanted to travel from one corner of the Coimbatore to last corner of the Coimbatore? Like maybe you will place a cycle docking stand inside a metro coach. You will design in such a way. So understanding. So based on that, okay, there are 50% of the population are youngsters from 15 to 25 years of age. Their mentalities, their behaviors, their desires. They wanted this kind of feature. The problems. The biggest problem that your city is facing is because of your humidity, temperature. Because like if you see, the MRTS trains in Mumbai and Chennai, they have a common problem, right? One common problem is like they don't have AC, because I stayed in Chennai for 9 years. I know the situation. You don't have AC. The biggest problem is during 90% of the time is hot and humid, and especially during April, May, June, July. If I get into a local train in Chennai, it will be hot. The second thing is like it will be so much completely sweaty, and you'll not have air to pass in. So because of this problem, what they have done, understanding this hot and humid conditions, they started placing some ventilation places on the corners of each coach. So whenever the train goes fast, the air is forced inside the coach, so that it is reducing the temperature, and it is helping the uh, um, like helping with better air circulation. Same case might not be required in like in case of Bangalore. Bangalore, you don't require this, because like in February and all, like sorry, December and all, it will be freezing. If you allow more air to go inside the cabin, it is not required. But now it is okay. We have air conditioner coaches. So based on different areas, different segment of people, different age groups, or their emotional issues, because emotional like conditions of Coimbatore will be different from Bangalore. Economical conditions of Coimbatore is different from Bangalore and Chennai. So all the things are there, right? Like, so that's why I'm saying like the target segment of the people, type, like say psychological, like emotional, economical, all the things like very important. So these are coming from user perspective. Other things is like regarding the vehicle. So how you will empathize the vehicle? now I just gave you an example, like how you're like you have to think from user perspective. If it is from any company, a brand or a vehicle, how you will empathize it. Just take an example of TVS. You just pick one particular vehicle. See, every company will have different vehicles, different categories, vehicles which fall into different segments. So the brand value is important, brand segment, identity of the vehicle. See, Ford makes different cars. Ford Mustang identity is different. It is a muscle car. At the same time, Ford Fiesta or Focus, their identity is different totally. So you can't have a same system that is designed for both the cars, right? So one is for muscle car, a performance muscle car. The other one is a normal hatchback for a very young customer or a family people. So you need to understand the product. What is the product? What is the target segment? So one is like from the user perspective, other is from the requirements of like the particular vehicle perspective. In your case, you are designing features for like FSAE car. So what is your FSAE car? What segment it falls into? What segment it falls into? What can just tell me, like from your car perspective, you just give me an example now. Like what is your vehicle, what it demands, and for what it is designed for. So it is a performance car. It is a design. It is a car designed for racetrack, not for normal road application. Not like the 4 people, 5 people will have 5 LCD screens. They'll happily watch some movies and all. No, it is a car just to tackle racetrack. So performance is important, stability is important, acceleration is important, and you need to design systems which will ease these things, like will better the driving condition on a racetrack and improve the track times, make it faster, make it lighter, help your driver to quickly finish the laps, and finally win the circuit, like win the cup for you. So understand the vehicle, understand the segment or the requirements of that particular car or but that vehicle. At the same time, driver, who's driving your car. So it is not like a 70 or 60-year-old person will be driving your car. No. At the same time, no, you don't require a child seat. You don't require a child lock in your car. There's no requirement for that. So you know that the driver, the target segment of the driver is going to be probably 20 to 25 or 20 to 35-year-old. That's all. His health conditions or his you don't have to design certain things like like yeah, of course, like challenged people or any health problems, people with health problems. You don't have to consider them, because your persona of your vehicle has so and so, like for these target segment of people. So design, like just narrow it down to them. So just focus on that particular segment of people and what their needs are. So your team has some 5 set of drivers that you're picking in, and yeah, probably this particular vehicle is being designed for this category of people. Your intentions are this, requirements are this. You want the steering to be quick, the lock to lock should be like this, and position of the electronic devices should be this way. You don't have to have different screens on different sides. All you need to do is like just place it behind the steering wheel, and uh, just for that particular segment of the people. So that is the reason why I'm differentiating these two. Because if you are having a racetrack machine and having a feature for old people is not required, right? Maybe um, you might be having a clause, I'm having particular feature designed for challenged people. Yeah, that might be helping you, in maybe like meeting some other aspect, but that is not required for your case, right? Just giving you an example of that. And then like unique features of that, probably you are designing a new concept vehicle for TVS maybe. This concept vehicle might be having a very important unique features, um, so that require a different approach. So these things, but your car, like probably your FSA car might be having any unique feature which I don't know. That particular unique feature may be that requires a different approach, that requires a different set of communication strategy. So if that is your unique selling point, maybe just giving an example. Your car has a distraction warning. Okay, that if your driver is getting distracted, it'll understand the driver and it'll give you a warning. Maybe that is your one of your point that you have stated, a unique feature of your car. If that is your unique feature, how do you design? So that will be taken in the first case itself, like this is my unique feature, I'm going to design a feature which will avoid the distraction. So that will come later, like how you are going to tackle. But if that is going to be unique feature, that will you'll state in the starting. Okay, this is my unique feature, which I'm actually thinking of, and because of this particular problems of my user in this category, so I want to focus this problem. And once you have identified your target segment and all, okay, then you have this like requirements. See, how you build your car, like you have your say, right, like you said, like your car, you have your car, right? So how you're building your car, how you're starting your like your project with, you have a rule book, right? Hello.
Yes.
Okay, based on rule book, so how you're going to start, like how did you start your project then?
First, we need to understand the scope of the project, like
Very good, very good. Then
so, like budget, the resources needed to do the project, and the timelines. Based on
correct.
that, we will start with the requirement engineering and then subsequent activities.
So this is a procedure, like you will start from budget and you do based on the budget and planning, you do the timeline. When you're supposed to complete, you have deadlines. You have virtual event, you have a first presentation based on your the whole procedure and draft. By the time of your first presentation, you'll not be having complete car, but you will be having a wireframe only ready. Sometimes you'll be having prototype at the virtual event, because in our Baha case, like what we have, in the case of first presentation, our like team, my seniors, like at the end in 2009, when they went to Mumbai to present, so we had only a wireframe. Wireframe was ready with only like no initial prototype, and that too wireframe prototype we made, and that is not a complete like at the final tube that we were using it for chassis. But we did a prototype just for the sake of we were like understanding and analyzing it, whether the space is okay, whether we can fit all the components in this or not. Because at that time, like it was like 4 months or 5 months past, so we were able to happily understand, okay, this is how our chassis will look. Okay, then that obviously, like, yeah, or until this particular point, we reached everything because of the rule book. The rule book is the first guide, right? Whatever we do, we'll follow particular rule book. Yeah, rule book says your diameter of this tube should be this. At the same time, you need to have this angle of your like firewall, or all these things will be there. Similarly, in case of this designing also, like first thing is you need to understand the requirements. If you have a rule book stating, your cockpit should be designed in such manner, you can't have dials like placed in this angles. You can't have steering wheel this way. So all these requirements will be there. So requirement should be kept like your requirement should be kept first before designing this. So then, as I said, just spoke about the target segment and all. So you will just take the survey. So what are all the sir, how the survey has to be. So you will just ask people like, what are your decide things? Like you have 25 people in your team. You can run a survey in your team. So everyone you let them write their requirements, like what they want in their car. I'm just saying after the requirements, after the requirement station and all. So everyone will come, I want this feature, I want this feature, I'll see these problems. I found that particular problem last time when I was driving. So everyone will come with different ideas. Okay, you synthesize them and just take a one basic survey. If I give you this feature, will you think this works or not? So you run this feature not only in your survey, not only in your team, across different set of people, which you identify them as a potential drivers. You just run a kind of survey, and you'll understand. Okay, the feature that I thought might really help will be seriously a big problem. It is going to be a game changer for my particular car. And then you cut it down. You take some interviews if you require, ask them, okay, what exactly are you looking in from this particular feature? You think this distraction is going to be a very major issue? How this distraction will affect you when you are driving a race in a racetrack, and suddenly something has happened inside the cockpit, and suddenly a user turning his head and they're getting distracted from the racetrack. It is going to affect. So you think this is a serious problem? If it is going to be a serious problem, like how you're going to act it, and you make some questionnaire and ask some people. So based on that, you will get a very good data. So you understand those data, and then market analysis. Market analysis may not be suitable for you, but for you, competitor analysis or competitor teams will help. So usually what we do during a competition, we are making a car run at the same time. Some couple of people will be going across all the tents of all the teams. We'll be checking what they've done. Okay, university or some university had come up with gas filled jog absorbers. At that time, I'm talking about. We have come with R4 disc brakes. Like my car in from SRM University came with a R4 wheel disc brakes. Okay, there is another team came with drum brakes. Why did they come with the drum brakes? What is the reason? So the certain people have to go and check. We came with a four-wheel steering at that time. Unfortunately, the four-wheel steering had a problem, so we just eliminated a component. We made it as single, like front wheel steering. That's all. Somehow we designed in a, like fail-safe in such a way that we removed a component. It is working. So one team had come from Pune. They came with a what do you call? They're able to increase the ground clearance, but the system failed. So like we'll just go scouting in all the teams. You do this benchmarking, you take photographs, and this will help you to design the next year's car. So we have designed this car. We can't do any modifications in this one, but next year's car, you take all this data and you analyze them and you come up with features. So whatever you do, the process like which I said now, uh, we'll take all this data, like which are the data we collected, it will help from again starting a new project. So this competitor benchmarking or the competitor team benchmarking will help. If they've come with a new feature, you will come up with, that's how the companies do. If you got a new feature and another company will come with a new feature in the next iteration. So you do all all things like fall into research phase. Now is the persona. This is one term which I mentioned like a couple of times before also. The persona of the user for whom it is going to be designed. Okay, you have AMG. Okay, AMG is what is AMG? You have Brabus. What is Brabus?
No, I don't know.
You are in Germany, right?
Like the Mercedes-Benz AMG. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yes, it's Mercedes AMG.
Okay.
You have a Mercedes car, and what is the requirement of having AMG? Mercedes is already making a sports car, no? What is the requirement of AMG? And if you have AMG, what is the requirement of? You tell me what is the requirement of AMG? Why
No,
people require?
I don't know that actually.
See, AMG is nothing but you take already high like performance sports car and then you convert it, you make it even more powerful. You take a normal G wagon or normal SLS or GLS, you take it, you put a bigger block, you put performance tires, you change the gear ratios, uh, you change the aerodynamic package, you reduce the drag coefficient from 0.3 to 0.2, 0.5 or something. You change the final ratio from 450 brake horsepower. You now take the vehicle to 600 bhp. Okay, now the price is increased. Now this is purely the persona of the car has changed, correct? A person who wants a Mercedes Benz, he doesn't require AMG. But a person who wants AMG, he can't be satisfied with a Mercedes. That's true, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a person, I have money, but I can't drive a sports car. I want to show off. I want a Mercedes Benz only. I'll purchase a CLA or a G class, normal G class or something. I'll be happy with it. But yeah, I'm a hardcore performance enthusiast. I'm not at all satisfied with G car, G wagon. I find this is very lazy. This is very heavy, and for me maybe AMG will serve the purpose. Like it has power. It has 6.3 liter. It has like bi-turbo. It has a turbo. It has all these things. But now the persona has a difference. A very rich person, a rich kid, a performance enthusiast. Now again, if I'm not satisfied with this, my persona is not this one. My persona is like I can spend even double the amount. I want double the power. I want 0 to 60 within 2 seconds. 0 to 60 mph I'm talking about, not kmph. 0 to 60 within 2 seconds. Probably this car will not be enough for me. Now Brabus will serve my purpose. The Brabus Rocket, G Wagon, Rocket 900. Okay, so persona creation. So based on the data until you created now, you create a persona. In your case, you create a persona. Okay, you are the driver of your car. You're going to drive your car on the race track in the competition. So all the data, you conducted the surveys, you done the market, the benchmarking, you collected the valuable information from surveys and interviews and all. You find, okay, I'm making a driver distraction. I'm making a new kind of illumination bulb on the dashboard. No, don't get into a solution finally. A kind of solution that I'm getting for the distraction, or I'm making a proposal for informing a driver regarding uh, some particular problem in a car. So you have this for you kind of a persona of this age, possibly like performance enthusiast. These are the features that I require. My interest. So all these things you put. Based on that, you get a clear picture, because this is how you like. Okay, this is a way of presentation anyway, but this is also a process. How do you come to particular solution? How do you come to a situation? How you design a feature? Again, this is again a part of the process. You understand the way. Okay, you user journey is like you are driving a car. I'm starting a car from the the race grid. Okay, my emotions, your emotions will be different from starting of the car to ending a race. Okay, at the starting you'll have a high energy, and you'll have everything in mind. Okay, I'm going to use this strategy. I'll change the tires only after 10 laps. I'll not stop or anything. I hope nothing goes wrong. I'm going to start in the first of the grid. My plan is to get as much as like lead as possible. I'll be ahead. I'll do lap out. All this strategy will be there. but you don't know immediately after heading to the first corner, things will completely go bad, and someone behind you will take the slipstream and he'll try to go past you. Immediately he'll come closer and hit you. What will happen? Your complete plan is gone. What if you survived from there? You now you're not in the starting of the grid. You are now in the 5th or 7th or 9th. Then your strategy should go. You stay in the same 7th spot until you gain some speed. From 7, you come to 5 and all, and then you analyze. Okay, no, now I'll go and change my tires now before other person goes, and then you gain some speed. You have some enough fuel left until 30th or 40th lap. On 40th lap, since you have more fuel, you will keep accelerating, and all these things will change, right? This emotional like strategical things, all these things will change based on that. How you tackle your car, how you want the car to inform you regarding several parameters of the features, like I'm talking about the any ADAS features or anything. So the user journey during that particular usage, how your thinking will go, how your emotions will go, how your requirements will change, how environmental conditions will change. Based on that, you might be requiring a different information, so you just tabulate the thing. Okay, during this phase I might be requiring this thing. During the midway of the race, I might be requiring an information of my tire condition. If I have to suddenly go for tire change, or I need to know how much thread I've lost, so that it will help me to suddenly get into um, it's whatever, yeah, get a new tire. Suddenly, if I have to refill for fuel, so based on this particular thinking of whole journey of your particular work, you will understand what you require and how I can come up with a new solution. So you have all this tabulated properly, and then now you start making your concept. So now you get into the okay, the solution. Don't start away straight away say, okay, I am going to put a bulb or not. But if you have done all this process, your user journey and all, you'll understand. Okay, if I'm going to use this particular thing in the midway of the journey, I'll not be having time to look at around my cockpit area. It is better for me to have something in the front, like up front, just behind the steering wheel, because at that particular time I'll be focusing on the road. So you'll understand all these things. Like design has to go in process. Like once you make this complete table of data, now you understand. Okay, these are the things I want. Now you make all the things, point everything in a chart. Now you make a concept. My concept, my interior HMI concept. I want a multimedia or a information display just behind the steering wheel that will have A, B, C, D different features. At the same time, I am thinking of having another information display on the right corner. It will keeping me informing about my tire or something. So for that, you do conduct some exercises, like whether I want this corner or this corner. That's a different thing. That you do some usability testing in a cockpit, because even during my cases, like we built ergonomic dummy. Okay, unfortunately, those photographs and all, I lost it because of my laptop. I got crashed. Otherwise, I seriously we built it with the wood. We built a ergonomic template with wood. We sat inside, like I sat inside the car, like holding the steering wheel. We identified, okay, this is our sitting position. Perfect. This is suiting well. For 5 people, we sat and thought, this is going to be perfectly well for our seating position with all the ergonomic angles set. I want the steering wheel here, beside, just behind my steering wheel. I want my cockpit to be there. During our when we designed our car, so we were very clear what we want in our car, how the car will look, and then we were building a wireframe. As I said, by 5 months we have completed. We were building wireframe. We started building wireframe with not the final the tubes that we were supposed to build the cock, but initial the prototype that we have built, and then we identified, okay, this is the space. We place the ergonomic dummy. Okay, we want these features, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all these things. So it is fitting well. So now, okay, this is our product. You are defining the product now. I want these things in my car. These are going to serve my purpose. The problem statement that I've said, so it is meeting the requirements. Yeah, I want a map. Okay, you think one major problem that your drivers will face is you're focusing on the around drivers, around competitors, around the environmental situation. Suddenly you'll forget, okay, this is the corner that I'm in. You don't know the racetrack, right? During the warm-up laps, you'll understand, okay, I have a tighter turn here, I have a faster turn here. But what if you have a map right in front of the driver? Okay, you put a small screen for the map, so it helps the driver to understand, okay, maybe this is my track. I know this is the tighter corner, this is a slow speed corner, I'll slow down here. This is the area that obviously driver will be prepared, right? Like if you have chosen a driver, he knows where to brake in, where to enter the corner, exit the corner, where to brake in and all. So at least placing a map of particular a circuit will help him. I'm just giving an example. So you'll identify a spot, okay, on the left side, right next to the steering. I'm placing this map. Okay, it will be easy for the driver. Maybe the position of external mirrors will be over here. So you'll come up with all these ideas. Okay, defining the product concept, and then how it works. Okay, I placed my idea is to give a warning on the right side. Driver warning will be always at the right side. All the warnings will be on the right side. Information will be on the left side. My map will be on the left side. And basic all the car related features, RPM meter, it could be speedometer, like all the features will be just behind the steering wheel. So it is very simple, clean. So once like a user drives for a couple of kilometers, he'll understand left side is this information, right side is this information. If he wants anything, he'll just use his finger. How it works, like maybe press of a button or swipe, or it doesn't require any interactions. It keeps displaying all the time, defaultly. So how you define how it works and how it has to work. Now, whatever you thought about important or unique features in the starting, or during this process, you will think, maybe you would have come across different problems that other people have brought in. So you just you'll focus on important features, add up more features or specifications of that particular feature. You add up those, and then you have done some testing. Maybe okay, on the left side, this map will not work. Maybe it might work in the center. Then will it be okay to get the other basic information to left side? You think it matters? You think to changing the dials clockwise or anti-clockwise, will they help? So you understand all the things you based on the exercises and testing. Now you are defining the concept of your car. They are defining the features and how they are functioning. So you once you define everything of your HMI behavior, now you will okay. And then number one, I'll be placing a screen. You click on the screen, you take it to very basic information on top, bigger clock, bigger speed dial. I don't want any other feature. If user wants other feature, he'll press on this particular screen, it will go to the next screen. So maybe you might have designed in this way because you have done some testing. You've asked people to drive the car, and you have taken the data, you have taken the research. Maybe you have come to this level. Okay, this is the very primary information. I'm defining my project in such a way. Like Tesla will not give you a screen or an instrument cluster behind the steering wheel. They are very particular that a big tablet will be placed in the center. For their usability, for the user like experience pattern is this way. At the same time, you can't expect the same screen to be there in a case of Ford. The Ford will have a screen behind the steering. Okay, that's how the users who are driving the Ford are expecting. At the same time, that particular system has some limitations that you can't place it on the left side. That to such a big tablet. So how you're designing your system and hierarchy. And then you start making the basic layout. Making my interior layout is like this in my cockpit. In my steering wheel is like this. Behind the steering wheel, I'm placing this basic layout. You have done some exercises, asked people to drive the car, and you understood, okay, if I'm placing tires behind the steering wheel, right, top portion of the steering wheel is affecting the visibility. I have a Baleno, okay, I have a Baleno. So Baleno, my steering, like it has a tilt and telescopic adjustable, adjustable steering wheel. If I'm placing my what you call it, steering wheel on like raising the steering wheel top, what happens? I'll not be able to see the dials properly. There is an MID display, Zeta variant. Okay, MID display. The important information, it is like getting objected, like it is covering the important information. So what I do, like I'm okay to completely lower the steering wheel so that I can see the whole information. I want the whole information to be displayed. Unless the trip meter and all, trip meter, I can just raise my head. Those are not important for me every time. Important information is like speed information. Very important thing is like how much mileage it is delivering, because our mindset is like that over here, like mileage we wanted to see, right? So you do this testing and understand, oh no, this particular area, it is not helping me. Maybe I'll place it in both the corners. So you now draft a basic design. Okay, this is how I want the dials to be. This is how I want my design or a cluster to be, infotainment display to be. So now you start adding features to the different layer levels, layers, and finally you get some basic design. And then you, what you call, you do you do some sourcing, right? You scouting. You go across different vendors or different areas, find out like proper like availability of spares, how you will fix it in. Then you, in the prototype, you will fix everything, and then you finally test the vehicle. So before that, you basically do this sketching, and then you come up with some designs. So you can use like Illustrator, you can use some Photoshop. If you don't know Photoshop and Illustrator also is fine. You know Paint, right? You know Photoshop, like I have a PPT, you have a Paint. Use any of the software to understand. Okay, this is how my dials will be. Place some circles, place an indicator bulbs here and here. If you think indicators both should be on one corner and the other corner should be used for something else, you do the testing and finally design interiors of your car. And then finally coloring. You can't just add different colors, right? You like yellow, you like green. You can't put green everywhere. There should be some reason for every color. Red is for hazard. Yellow is for some kind of warning. If engine has some serious issue or engine stop, kill switch and all, you have to use red. You can't use red for all the time to display colors. What happens? Red is very disturbing color. It completely disturbs eye. Green, yeah, is something for intimating, you can go, or there is no problem, everything is okay, but you can't display everything in green color. So you need to use some pleasant colors when like it could be a white, or it could be a very pale blue, cool blue or something. So you design and a few things you can't go, like based on the regulations, you need to use certain colors for certain usage. You need to go with those colors. So then based on that, you design colors, you design digits. If your system has limitations, maybe you're sourcing LCD display to place it. So it can't show different colors. Maybe it has ambient, like some blue color in the background, and it can only show digits in white or black. So then you have no other choice. You need to go with those colors. So you come up with final designs, and then you make your use of this particular design in your cockpit or final prototype. I think they're running short of time. It's already time is over, right?
Yes, like we are scratched by that.
Okay. So that's all. Anyway, it's over. If you want, what I'll do is I'll share this one small. This chart is okay. Can I share something in chart? What I have is this one. See, I made a small assignment sort of template for you people. So just share it with everyone, who is going to take this particular session. So it is just for the understanding. Okay, whatever I taught, you just take this template, use any Photoshop or any Paint or anything, just fill up these boxes. User requirements, what are the target segments or the requirements or the regulations, whatever you have for your car, fill it in this yellow box. Problems and limitations. You have any problems on that particular users, you fill up in this. Regulations or that rule book is stating for that HMI, and then solutions. What your solution is, maybe distraction warning or maybe map or something that you're going to propose. So the problems and limitations you have and solution that you're going to propose, and inspiration. You have any inspiration? Maybe you have inspiration from Mercedes, maybe that design of the cockpit and all. You place inspirations. Based on that, you design the flow chart. How your feature will be. Here, you use this particular blank space to place the final design of your design. So, if you're interested, you can take this assignment and send it to me. Maybe we can discuss. Because even if you want to design for your car also, you can use this template. So whatever it shown in the presentation, so that is covered in this one. Any questions or anything that you want?
Thanks, Prithvi. Yeah, that was a very good presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So if you have any doubts, you can get back to me or moderator. They'll communicate to me. And this assignment template, I'll share it to Salin. I'll send it to you. Maybe you can send it to everyone.
Yeah, you
Because
can share
I'm
it
not
with
finding
me or Asher, it works.
Sir, yeah, Asher, I'll send it to him so that
Yeah.
he'll communicate with everyone. The main reason
Yeah.
of me giving that particular assignment is not, I'm not making it compulsory.
Yes.
Once you've gone through the presentation, they'll understand, okay, in a simple way, if you can fill in this particular sheet, you'll understand, okay, oh, this is how I need to design this thing.
Right. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would like to thank you for taking the time to deliver this informative session, Prithvi. And I'd like to thank the participants who joined us for this evening. Thanks a lot, everyone. Wish everyone a great weekend. Right?
Thank you and wish you all a very good luck in making your FSAE car. Because I am also ex-Baha member. I was into FSAE. By the time FSAE had come in, I was into fourth year. So we could not be a part of the team when we were in fourth year in 2010-11. So I was closely associated with the team, helping them because we were one of the senior members in a FSAE club in our college. So I'm very much interested in this one, these competitions. So I'd like to see, if you have any doubts, I would like to, I'll be very happy to help you. And once again, wishing you good luck. And thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.